Welcome back. So we have our photographs imported into Adobe Bridge, and you can see with the breadcrumbs they are located on our computer, hard drive is Mac, in the folder for users, wrap hard films, and then in the pictures folder we have our airplanes _December 2013. If when you plug in your camera iPhoto opens as the default, you can just quit it, just shut it, and then open up Bridge so that you have a lot more control over those images. Now I'm going to double click on this folder to open it up. You have several viewing options: film strip, metadata, output, which will give us options for PDFs and web galleries. I'm going to go back to the essentials. In the content window, you see all of the photographs, both the digital negative and the JPEG. So in this case, I used a Canon, so the CR2 has been converted to a .dng and has not changed the raw file at all. If you click on an image and look over here, you can see a preview and the metadata. And the metadata is probably the most important thing and one of the coolest. When I first started making photographs, I had a little notebook that I would carry around, and it had my aperture, my shutter speed, my ISO in it, and now I don't have to because of this window. It tells me the f-stop, the shutter speed, the ISO, white balance, how large the image is, pixel dimensions, and in megabyte size, the color space, and a bunch of other really cool stuff. When it was created, when it was modified, bit depth, file size, and you can add information to this also. So here, if I keep scrolling down a little bit, I can see what lens I used, metering mode was spot metering, white balance was auto, serial number of my camera, and when this little pencil is visible, you can click on it and you can edit that field. So if you wanted to edit anything here, video, audio, some of this stuff won't apply, but you have the option to edit some fields when that little pencil is available. I normally just leave those alone because this gives me enough information, the camera raw and the metadata. You can collapse these or open them. Now keywords. There aren't any keywords for these images, but I'm going to add one. All of these images we're taking of airplanes in the desert. So I'm going to hit Command A or Edit, Select All. And with all of them selected and the keyword panel open, go down to the bottom right corner and click the little plus. Now I'm going to type in airplane and hit check. And you'll see that it is writing this to all of those images. So now, if I click on any one to unselect all of them, I can see in the keywords that it is assigned for airplane. That's very cool. Makes things easier to find. Now you can also see that I have a couple file types. I have two file types, my DNG or my RAW files, and I have JPEG files. Because I shot RAW plus JPEG, I have identical files of each photo. And if I'm making a contact sheet or asking someone to review these, I don't want duplicates. So what you can do in the file type is click on one just to show the DNGs, or click on the JPEGs just to show the JPEGs. This doesn't delete any files, it doesn't move any files, it just is not making the DNG images visible, just the JPEGs. Very cool. And you can see our keywords right here. I'm going to select both of them and again select all, Command A or Edit, Select All. And I'm going to name them. I'm going to Tools, Batch, Rename. I think it's very important to rename them because you're never going to wake up in the middle of the night looking for a file called img_0299. You're going to be looking for something that you shot at a certain time and probably of a certain subject. But also, I like to keep this 4-digit number, the suffix, the digital negative suffix. So what I'm going to do is leave this preset default, destination folder, rename in same folder, new file names. The text is going to be airplanes 12-14. That's when I shot them, and another underscore. Oops, sorry. I should use 13. And you have many options, but I'm going to choose preserved file name, which will let me keep that 4-digit number and number suffix. So you can see the current file name and your new file name, telling you the subject, when it was taken, and keeping that number suffix. Those 4 digits can be very important if you were shooting something where you were keeping track of those digits. I did a project where I shot hundreds and hundreds of people, and for each person I would write down that number on their talent release so that I would know how to reference their images to their paperwork. Okay, once that's done, you hit rename, and it renames all of them. Perfect. So now we have a keyword assigned. We can see our DNGs and our JPEG files. We can also see our keyword over here. And I think that we are ready to go on and start reviewing and picking our favorites. Cool.